What is up everyone, it's Hamdan on the channel. In today's video, you might be wondering why I'm not at my regular place or at my regular spot, which is the studio, basically where I always shoot my videos. Today's video will be on 5G technology, and as you can see, I'm having an internet connection issue. It's not basically, I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm in the room, so I'm just, whenever I get internet, I'll go back to the studio. So today's video will be on 5G technology, and for you to understand what 5G is, you just need to look back into the evolution of mobile wireless communication or mobile wireless technology. And from this we have 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G and 5G. Although they are currently developing other generations, the G in 5G does not actually mean gig or anything like that. It means generation. So whenever you see 1G, it means first generation of wireless network communication technology. So put that at the back of your mind and let's move on. We all know that 5G is coming to revolutionize a whole lot of things in this our industries. Be it AI, be it automation, be it self-driving cars and a whole lot of things. And as I've said earlier on, with the evolution we have 1G. And 1G was being implemented in the early 1980s, basically for audio calls. So meaning at that time, if you were having a device that is using 1G, what you can only use it to do is audio calls. And it was also low quality. And at that time, that was just the time whereby most of the devices were using analog technologies. So 1G was built basically on analog technologies. So it was actually good, but at that time, manageable. But along the way, 2G came, and 2G, the tech that basically powered 2G is GSM. GSM, as we all know, Global System for Mobile Communication, basically is to help in encrypting the audio calls of the 1G. It just came along to improve the 1G with a bit of high quality on the audio calls, and also to help in encrypting the data or the audio calls. And one other new feature that 2G brought along the way is text messaging. So 1G does not support text messaging, and 2G was basically the tech that came to introduce text messaging. Along the way, 3G came, and 3G was being powered by two notable technologies, which is UMTS and HSPA. UMTS, which basically means Universal Mobile Telecommunication System, came to introduce internet access. So 3G came to basically introduce internet access with higher quality audio calls and improve the 1G and 2G along the way. But one thing is that if you were using 1G or 2G at that time, it would be very hard for you to access the internet. 3G basically revolutionized the whole industry in terms of bringing internet access along the way. And this was just right at the birth of the internet. That was in the early 1990s. So if you are having 3G, you can use it to access the internet and do video calls at that time, but it wasn't that fast because the data transmission was just about some kilobytes to several megabytes per second. So the successor of 3G was 4G technology, and 4G was being powered by three notable technologies. We have LTE, we have LTE Advanced, and then WiMAX technologies. And LTE, at times scrolling through your phone network, you get to see something called LTE on the top right corner of your device. Basically, it means long-term evolution. And with this technology powering 4G, its main purpose was just to help 4G technology in improving the internet access speeds of a particular network. So basically, 4G came to improve network speeds. So with 3G, which was transmitting data at, let's say, kilobytes per second, 4G came along the way to transmit data at a max speed of, let's say, from several megabytes per second up to 1 gigabyte per second. So basically what 4G comes to do is just to help in improving internet access speeds. And it's really did a very good job because most of us in this side of our world are still using 4G, and we don't even have access to 5G or anything like that. And it's very great because it's always makes things more than easy for us doing online video streaming, playing online games, and a whole lot of things. 4G is actually good, and that's basically what I'm using at the moment. Although my phone supports 5G cellular networks, but the 4G is great. Along the way, we are currently at the new frontier of modern wireless tech, and that is basically 5G. So 5G, as I've said earlier on, it comes along the way to revolutionize a whole lot of things. But before we get into some of the tech and everything behind 5G. Let's first look at how 5G works. So in terms of how 5G works, there are a whole lot of things behind the scenes making it possible for 5G to kind of transmit data at these speeds. And should I say technologies? Yeah, there are technologies in some way, and there are basically four. So number one, we have spectrum bands theorem. Number two, we have MIMO, multiple input, multiple output. Number three, we have beamforming. And last on our list is network slicing. So what is the spectrum bands? Spectrum bands are basically radio frequencies that are used in transmitting data. In terms of the spectrum bands, here we are just dealing with radio frequencies that can help in transmitting data from one point to another. And basically there are three. We have the low band frequencies, we have the high band frequencies, and lastly on our list, we have the mid band frequencies. So in terms of the low band frequencies, they have broader coverage. They are not that fast. They are just slow in terms of transmitting signals, and they can penetrate through buildings. And in terms of the high band frequencies, they are very faster. They have a limited coverage in terms of area. They can't penetrate through buildings. Fun fact, another name for high band frequencies is mm wave or millimeter waves. So let's move on to the mid band frequencies. The mid band frequencies, they have like enough coverage of area, and they are not that slow, and they are not that fast. Let's just say they are moderately fast enough to transmit data, and they can penetrate through building. So after getting to know what the spectrum bands are, they are basically radio frequencies for transmitting data signals, and we have the low band, we have the high band, and we have the mid band. So now let's move to another tech that powers 5G, and this includes MIMO, which is multiple inputs, multiple outputs, and beamforming. And basically in 5G technologies, for me to transmit data efficiently on 5G tech or on 5G network, on the sender side there need to be a whole lot of antennas. So, and on the receiver side there need to be another whole lot of antennas, so that data can be transmitted at a faster and more efficient manner. So 5G make use of a whole lot of antennas. So meaning if I'm sending, I'm having plenty antennas, and if you are receiving, you're also having plenty antennas. Another tech that powers or concept that powers 5G tech is network slicing. Slicing as we mean cutting something into pieces. The network slicing in the concept of 5G tech basically means we dividing the network into various groups, so that a particular device will be allocated to a particular side of the network, basically creating virtual networks or virtual private networks, so that the 5G infrastructure will know that if this device is doing this, what type of signals am I going to allocate to it, or what type of data speeds am I going to give to this on this my network. So for instance, maybe you are using 5G basically for your house. Let's say having a whole lot of IoT devices. So for you to connect a whole lot of all these things on your device, it will depend on the 5G infrastructure. And then, as I said earlier on the network slicing, basically what it is going to do is it's going to look, we need a faster internet speed, or on this part of my network does it need like faster internet speeds. Based on that, it will be able to allocate the necessary resource we need. Let's just compare to someone sitting in an autonomous vehicle. The person will need a faster internet connection, so that data signals can be sent to the car for the car to make decisions at a faster pace, because if there is any issue with the network, it can lead to problems along the way, because the car will be looking for data or informations in order to process them and make decisions while moving. So traffic information, road information, and a whole lot of things. So as comparing that to, let's say, someone in the house, so the network slicing will kind of allocate this kind of data resources to each of the components of the network by kind of weighing down which one is the most important aspect at the moment, or which one needs the most faster data speeds. So that's basically how network slicing goes. So in terms of the tech behind 5G, we have spectrum bands, low bands, high band, and mid bands frequencies. We have MIMO, multiple inputs and multiple outputs. We have beamforming, and last on our list, we have network slicing. So that's basically the techs and concepts that powers 5G tech. Fun fact, 4G also make use of low band and mid band frequencies, but it doesn't make use of high band frequencies. So 5G literally is the one that makes use of low band, high band and mid band frequencies simultaneously, so making it more faster for data transmission. So now, after getting to know some of the ways in which 5G works, let's get to see some of the benefits of 5G technology. So there are a whole lot of benefits of 5G technology, and the first thing on my list will be on enhanced speed and connectivity. 5G is literally 100 times faster than 4G. And it's a bit funny to me, but 5G supports up to 10 gigabytes per second data transmission, and it's way more faster than 4G. So this is very good in the application of fields that needs like faster internet access speeds. For instance, the automobile industry, whereby there is the development of autonomous vehicles, and these vehicles, they need like faster and very good internet speed so that they can be able to make a whole lot of decisions in order to save lives. Another place whereby enhanced speed and connectivity can be applied onto, or another field, is IoT, Internet of Things, whereby a whole lot of devices are kind of expected to be interconnected along the way. I think 5G is going to make things more easier and should I say seamlessly for a whole lot of things. So in the sense that you can be at a particular country, let's say for instance in the US, and you can be able to control a whole lot of things in your house, and they will just work as soon as you touch the button on your device without any minimum lag. So let's say for instance, everything in your house are interconnected, like your bulbs, your everything, your refrigerator, your air conditioners, and a whole lot of things. And you are out of the country, meaning you can just use your phone and control a whole lot of things at your house, and they will just happen as soon as you do that. Another benefit of 5G is low latency. Latency is basically the time it takes for data signals to be transmitted from one place to another and back. I think the idea of applying low latency can be applied to a whole lot of fields or industries. So for instance, there is currently an evolving field called remote surgeries, remote patient monitoring, and also telemedicine. In terms of remote surgeries, these are basically, there is a robot whereby the patient can sit on, and let's say the doctor in some other part of the world can be able to control whatever that is happening on the device. So meaning the doctor can be at a different part of the world and he can do a surgery on your body. So that's basically the remote surgery. And another is remote patient monitoring. So basically they can be a very small or tiny device that can be connected onto your body, and whatever that is happening, let's say your heartbeats and a whole lot of things, that data can be transmitted to someone or a doctor, and he can be able to monitor you and diagnose you in real time. So that's one of the benefits of 5G. Another benefit of 5G will be on increased capacity. So in terms of increased capacity, I'm just talking about how a whole lot of devices can be connected to a particular network. So 5G can support up to 1,000 times more devices on a particular network in a square kilometer than 4G. So meaning if at a particular place or geographical location, if there are 100 devices connected onto a 4G network, with the 5G network they can be 100,000 basically. So that's just in theory. So meaning 5G supports a whole lot of devices onto its network, and I think this will be very good for places whereby the population is very huge or is densely populated, so that a whole lot of people can connect onto the network without having any form of lagging issues and all those things. So these are some of the benefits of 5G: enhanced connectivity and speed, low latency, and increased capacity. After getting to see some of the benefits of 5G technology, there are a whole lot of challenges. You see, nowadays nothing comes with good without having bad. So some of the challenges includes, my first one will be on health and environmental concerns. There was a public outcry of the idea of high frequencies. You see, mostly 5G make good use of high frequency or high band frequencies for data transmission or for signals transmission. So some people were of the view that because they are high frequency waves, they are going to have a whole lot of impact on our skin or on our body, which might lead to cancer. So although scientifically it is not being proven, but I think it's something that the technicians or scientists that are improving this field should take into consideration. And my other concern in terms of environmental wise will be on energy. Looking at 4G infrastructure, it actually consumes a whole lot of kilowatts of power. So I think they should implement other renewable source of energy options which can kind of optimize this in the long run. And I think it's going to help a whole lot. Another major challenge of 5G is cost of implementation. In terms of infrastructure, even the part of world that I'm in, 4G infrastructure is still something we are still kind of struggling with, not to talk of 5G. So my recommendation would just be that it's better to kind of implement and improve our 4G infrastructure in this part of our world. I know there are some other parts of the world whereby internet services are very good, and some countries have even started rolling in 5G, or some states in some countries, and I think it's very good and it's going to help a whole lot. But in where I am coming from, 4G is still something we are struggling with, so not to talk of 5G. So the best thing is just to improve 4G infrastructure, because I think 4G actually make things more easier for a whole lot of us. Although I'm using a 5G phone, but I don't see the essence of even buying a 5G phone, because 4G is just good to go. It can help you with literally a whole lot of things, and it's even faster. So I just think the best thing is just to improve the 4G infrastructure, making it readily available for any remote place in, let's say, in Africa or across the globe, so that any person in any other part of the world can be able to use this infrastructure or use this resource to its maximum best. So 5G technology will really revolutionize a whole lot of industries, from IoT, Internet of Things, to AI automation, in terms of connecting a whole lot of hardwares and a whole lot of, should I say, softwares together in order to make it more seamlessly for communicating with various devices, and also on autonomous driving cars, remote surgeries, and a whole lot of things. This can even help save lives, and it's good. 5G is good. The future of 5G is actually bright. The impact is coming to make is going to change a whole lot of things. But looking at where I am coming from, 4G infrastructure is still something that is not being fully implemented across the whole country or across the whole Africa. So the best thing I can say is, let's just improve the 4G infrastructure, making it more readily available and accessible for anyone in Ghana, anyone in Africa, anyone across the globe, so that at least internet access will be readily available for everyone. And I think it's going to help a lot of people in a whole lot of ways, and also in the long run. That's all we have for today. So please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to comment on the comment section. I'll check it out. So thank you once again for watching. Catch you guys in the next video. Peace. Away, bass.